Okay, and we're on the air. This is the OSRA Daily Scrum for Thursday, February 12th, 2015. Here we have Christian, Gabriel, and myself. Why don't you start us off?
Who's starting?
You, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I did update the pull request that I had open. The one with the new button is, you already merged it, and this other one about the pagination I also updated. And any comments? No. All I did is change the create successful test, and I had to use, so it's touching the database now, and I had to use when I do the post create to send to the controller, I had to specify the sponsor to get the attributes like this. I had to do a build and get the attributes from there, because if you see here, if I try to do so if I do the build dot attributes and I do the save, it's working. If I do build stub and I get the attributes s.save, it's failing. And if I do effectively attributes for, the same, it's failing. And that's because so build stop, it's setting the agent ID in the sponsor, right?
Yeah.
It's setting to a random number, but the actual agent doesn't exist in the database. So only the agent ID from the sponsor is set, but there's no actual record in the about the agent.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the validation is failing.
Okay.
So only if I do a build, it's actually creating that agent in the data.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the only way I could make it work.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need to stress too much about this. Yeah. Okay.
And also to get this sponsor that it's creating inside the create controller, it's creating a new record.
Yeah.
I get that access to that newly created sponsor by using the assign sponsor.
All right.
See?
Yeah. So you're reaching into the controller and.
Yeah, so I can get the ID from there. So this route will.
Okay.
So this is all. Well, and other than that, I am studying for the SAS course. So hopefully this weekend I'll catch up with Andre and do the homework. If he has time, I hope.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
Well, say hi.
Yeah.
Talk to him. All right, Gabriel, let's go to you.
I finished, so I can make the test. I actually the problem. Let me share my screen. So what I do was create. Let's see what is. I create this. I create a factory for admin user. So this has the admin user email and password. So later I add this line that is for use device tester helper in view. So I added to the controller helper, and then the test I need to do. I need to go create an admin user, and I need to map the systems. anime user, because this is not the default. Then I sign in, and everything is gone perfect. So basically, this is the test is running fine, and then I the compatibility with the Bootstrap. So I changed my CSS to something more related to Bootstrap. Actually, I use only Bootstrap properly. What else? Well, this is the HTML, and the CSS just added this line, and this is one to make the header to have all the white, to take all the white in the screen, because there is, I don't know, there is a
I see.
that
Yeah. By default, that nav bar it's adding 15 pixels left and right, so you're removing.
yeah. So I just added this. Obviously, the properties of Bootstrap, and everything's fine. But if you wanna see it, well, it's in the pull request, and if you wanna see it, you will have to wait because I am not having running the. But that's it.
Well, why do you need the class nav bar in the header? Isn't that for navigation?
The test.
The class nav bar.
Well, it's used for styling here.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Isn't that for a navigation, for a list of buttons or something like that?
No, not Bootstrap has different kind of nav bars, and as long as you don't specify that the function of this thing is to function as a nav, then all you're doing is you're just applying CSS to it by using this class.
Then because I was looking for a header, but then I actually looked the header of Gia, and they use a nav, not for doing the header. So then I made all the CSS by scratch. But yeah, actually Bootstrap also have it, and it's perfect because it's easy. I didn't have to change a lot of files, and only to be able to. Let me see.
I think that looks good, Gabriela. I left just now. I left two comments on the pull request. One is that since you've created a factory for admin user, it's a good idea to have a test that makes sure that it's valid. So you can look at, if you look at any other model spec, usually the very first test is basically make sure that this model has a valid factory. So it's basically just a very simple expect build stubbed admin user to be valid. Essentially, that's all you need, just to make sure that the factory that we're going to use throughout the test suite, that it's always valid.
Sure.
Yeah. And then the only other minor point is that you've included device test helpers for views, because you use that. So there's just an inconsistency because the file that in which you've defined that is called controller helpers.
Yeah. Actually, I saw that, but they made told me or tell me what how to change it in another file.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with either solution, either creating a new file and calling it view helpers, or just renaming this file to helpers instead of specifically controller helpers. I think either way is fine. There isn't that much in this file anyway, so we can probably have it all together. Okay. All right, yeah, and Christian, I don't know about you. I think, as far as I'm concerned, once these two last little bits have been addressed, I think this is ready for merge.
Actually, I will do the test. But with that, I don't know. If I don't know if I have to rename the file or create a new file to put the class on
Yeah.
side view. I don't know because actually to create a file, we don't need to rename the. If I create a file, it's easy because if you change the name controller helper, I need to change or rename all the
Yeah. Okay, so
it's work.
Yeah. Okay, so you're suggesting creating a new file.
Basically, we will create the file to the view. Make the test in the model for factory. That's it.
How about this? In the OSRA support system text from the header, don't we want to add a link to it? Like root path or something? Root URL, or how is it called?
Yeah, root URL, root path. Yeah, that's a good suggestion too, I think.
Or slash.
Okay.
Well, root path would be the most canonical way to do it, I think. But
yeah, and use a link too, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, good point, Christian. Okay. Yeah, it's almost there. We're gonna have a header pretty soon. All right.
It's coming all together.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
How about you?
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to closing off all these open pull requests, so that we can start phase 1 with a clean slate. And I think we should be able to get there, because the corrections now, basically, I think your work on your pull request, I think it's finished.
Yeah, I agree.
And Gabrielle is almost finished. So hopefully, yeah, we can knock these off maybe tomorrow, and that's it. Okay, so guys, let me finish by saying that I just got a bit of time today. What I did was I took Craig's pull request about improving the performance. So that was the one where he changed the default scope on the orphan model so that it eager loads associations, and that allowed him to implement the filter on the city of origin. And what he also did, there are 3 initializer methods on the orphan that set default values if they're not specified. And he wrapped all of those initializers in a if new record clause, so that they only run for new records. They don't run every time you initialize an object. So when you load an existing object from the database, it doesn't run that initializer, and that obviously speeds up the whole process. And the only problem was that he did that on 2 out of 3 initializers, but left out the third. And I just quickly cloned his branch and added that clause myself, and then submitted a new pull request and merged it in right away. So that's in place. So we now have orphan filters that I think are fully functional. I haven't actually tested them yet. That's my next thing to do, is to just boot up our development server and test things out and make sure that everything is working, and then we can send it to the client for acceptance. And that hopefully will be the end of that, which is good because that's been kicking around for a while. And I think that's it for me.
Cool stuff.
Okay, guys. So, yeah, we still have our goal of finishing and merging in the 3 pull requests that are open. I'm not counting Robbie's right now because it's we basically he wants the whole team to have a discussion about it, and obviously we haven't. So that's going to stay open for a bit. But the 3 others, I think we should be able to merge, let's say, by the end of the week, and that means that on Monday we can start with a clean slate, with nothing weighing us down. We can start on phase 1.
Okay, cool.
And I guess we can make the decision tomorrow during the Scrum, but I'm pretty sure that we will not have a client meeting this Sunday.
Yeah.
Unless the client tells us that they have something to tell us. So I'll ask him tomorrow, and most likely there won't be them.
Well, if the guys want and they have time in the weekend, we can have the Sunday meeting, so we can catch up with if they don't have time during the week.
Yeah, I thought so too, especially since the client meeting starts at 10:30. If we started the Scrum at 10, you know, just gives a chance to whoever has missed the weekday Scrums to just get in touch with the team. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, we can post that on the Slack, and if somebody agrees with that, then we do it.
Yeah. And also the other thing that I said, what do you think about that? If basically it's been just the 3 of us guys for the past week, and you know, we've all been busy enough that most of our Scrums have been very short. We haven't had much to say. If that continues, then we probably don't need a nightly Scrum if we don't have a lot to talk about every single night. So maybe we can reduce that down to, let's say, 3 Scrums during the week and then the Sunday Scrum before the client meeting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Sure.
Have a good evening.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Gabriel.